Hello, everyone. Welcome to our IT webinar, where innovation meets insight. And we are truly honored to welcome tech enthusiasts and industry professionals today. So, I'm Diksha, host of today's session, and my co host Naman is also there. So, hi, Naman. How are you?
Hey, hi Diksha, how are you doing? Hi everyone. How are you guys? This is Naman joining.
So, hi, Naman. How you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I am hoping that you're also having a good time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, we're excited to invite you for an illuminating IT webinar, The Future of IT Auditing, Emerging Trends and Challenges. We're going to delve into cutting edge technologies, explore innovative trends, and navigate the digital audit landscape. So, throughout the webinar, you'll have the opportunity to hear from our industry expert, gain new perspectives, and to ensure that you'll leave this webinar with a deeper understanding. And also, I encourage you to actively participate and ask questions, and feel free to drop your queries in the chat box. And also, in today's dynamic business environment, IT auditing plays a vital role in ensuring integrity, security, and compliance of a digital system. And with increasing cyber threats and regulatory complexities, the market demands IT auditors who can adeptly navigate the technology landscape. Okay, so everyone, let us know that from which part of countries you all have joined from.
Yeah, guys. Please let's have a very good session, just like every time we meet on Zoom, having these sessions every other Saturday. But we really appreciate people who join us and who make this complete session, fruitful for every one of us here. So you can take the best out of this session with the help of chat window. You can communicate directly with your host, with the person who is talking, with the help of chat window. I request every one of you, because I think there are so many of my friends who have joined today, so many of our students who have joined today. Guys, let's use this opportunity to ask a number of questions, and make use of this platform to interact with the expert, with the students, and with the host. So make sure that you are 100% using the chat window to make this conversation live, and also you are part of this discussion. So what do you think, Diksha? Is it really important to have an interactive session? What are your thoughts? I think Diksha is
Oh,
unmuted.
yeah, definitely. I actually believe that interaction is very important in a webinar to make it more enthusiastic and more interactive. And even I can see that a lot of people have joined today in today's webinar. Some are from US, Canada, UK, and it actually feels very grateful. Like a lot of people are engaging and being they have been the part of today's webinar. It feels so grateful.
Absolutely. Diksha, you won't believe that. I think it's not the host which makes the session interesting. It's the audience, which makes the complete session interesting and interactive. So I think we should invite all the audience today to this webinar who are joining from different part of the world. And I really appreciate that, guys, you took out some time, a very precious time, and you joined today. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Diksha.
So let's start with today's agenda. So first of all, in today's agenda, what we're going to talk about is Think Loudly. That what Think Loudly is all about. And then we're going to show you the success stories, the testimonials where a lot of students of Think Loudly have achieved their path in IT. And then we'll have our webinar exclusive deal where we're going to introduce our webinar offer for 60 minutes. And then we'll come to the most interesting and the knowledgeable part where we are letting you know about the IT facts and the knowledgeable trends today. And then we'll have the quiz time, and at last we'll have the Q&A and FAQ session. So, well, Naman, I had an interesting riddle today as well. So, would you like to guess? Would you like to give an answer today again?
Yes, I think I love the riddles you always bring for me. I always love that. You know, I don't know from where do you get these riddles, but it is really interesting as well for me. Yeah, you can go ahead. But before you actually go ahead with your riddle, I just want to ask in the chat box again that guys, whosoever has joined, so are you already in IT or are you in non-IT? So can you please respond in the chat, like how many people are here who are aspiring to be in IT and how many people are here who are already in IT. So can we just use the chat window and can you guys please let us know how many people are here like who really want to land a job in IT or who are aspiring? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people who are already in IT. Very good. Great. Okay, Cody is in IT sales. Wonderful. It's an interesting combination. Yeah. Okay. I think Diksha, we have mix of students, people who are aspiring and people who are already in IT. So that's wonderful, guys.
Yes, that sounds really great because a lot of non-IT students also want to achieve their path in IT. That's a really great thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have an interesting riddle. So let's see if we can crack this riddle or not. So
Sure.
the riddle is about that I am a gatekeeper in the digital world, protecting your secrets with a cryptographic method. What am I?
Oh, so you are okay. Can you repeat if you don't mind? Can you repeat it for the audience? Meanwhile, I'm thinking about the answer.
Oh, sure, let me repeat it. So I am a gatekeeper in the digital world. I'm a gatekeeper in the digital world, protecting your secrets with a cryptographic method. What am I? Anyone guesses in the audience? Okay, someone says database, someone is saying cybersecurity. What do you think, Naman? What would be the correct answer? Okay, someone
Uh,
is saying
I,
firewall.
in my opinion, security. Some people are saying encryption. Anyone else, guys? Can you please guess?
Oh, we can see a lot of answers. Authentication, firewall, cybersecurity. Okay, so let me tell you the correct answer. So the correct answer is firewall. So the one who said firewall, that's the correct answer. Naman, that was incorrect. I'm really sorry to say this, but the firewall is the correct answer.
Okay, okay, great. Yes, I think that makes more sense. Like firewall is the real gatekeeper of keeping the realm of the cryptographic world and also the digital world. Yeah, I think that's a correct answer. Thank you. Thank you. I think thank you so much, guys, for participating. Over to you, Diksha.
And also, we would like to tell that we are also providing the certificate of participation. So that will be really great if all are engaging in the webinar, and whosoever will engage in this webinar, they'll be getting the certificate of participation. And at the last, we're going to provide the link in the chat box, and you can provide with your following information with your name and the other information as well, and you can claim the certificate of participation over here.
Yes, this is only for people who are in the webinar. So when we reach the end, please drop your details. Like we will be giving you a link where you can submit it so that we can send your certificate on your email. Okay.
All right then. So in today's session, there are a lot of people who are already know that what Think Loudly is all about. But for the new audience, I would like to tell that Think Loudly helps to secure your journey to become certified IT and management professional, reserving your spot for high-paying opportunities. And also, we provide more than 25 plus courses to our students, where we'll be helping them with the training with our specialized trainers who are having 11 to 15-year experience in IT. And also, we help with certifications, 20 plus hand-on projects, 300 plus hiring partners, 5 student group batch, free workshops, one-to-one mentorship, interview preparation, and job assistance in IT.
Yes, guys. So I think the people who have been joining us very first time, this is for you guys. Think Loudly is actually one of the vendor to a lot of individuals. When I say vendor, we are the IT training vendors. Whenever you want to upskill yourself, we are here. If you have your interview next day, we are here. If you have your assessments you need us to prepare you for, we are here. So if you need anything, we are always here. I think many of you are attending our free projects. We offer projects on AWS, on cybersecurity, on DevOps. So I hope you guys are already part of it. So we run free workshops. The only goal what Think Loudly has is that people who are aspiring to be part of the most trending career in IT, we are going to do that. We want to make sure that 2024 is going to be one of that year for all of us where we can see ourselves in IT if we are not in IT. So that is why you can consider Think Loudly to be a one-stop shop. And I am telling you, over 2000 students who have secured an IT job, who have used the IT services of Think Loudly, have realized it, and they are still connected with us. They are working in IT. They have been promoted already, who have spent already 1 or 2 years in IT. They have been promoted already, and they are doing good with their lives. Now, I think people who are here, who want to work in cybersecurity, who want to work in cloud, who want to work in project management or Scrum Master, I think this is the platform where you guys have to collaborate with Think Loudly and consider Think Loudly to be a platform where we guys can achieve what we are trying to achieve in 2024. So this is going to be very important, everyone, that you guys keep us posted on your progress, and whatever you need, we are always here. You need interview questions, we have interview questions, we have mock interviews, we have all the 25 job seeker programs available today, which are designed especially for people who come from a different background, but they have that hope in their minds to land a job in IT. So trust me, guys, consider Think Loudly to be that platform, what you will not find anywhere. And we are really proud of it. We are a team of 140 instructors. Can you imagine? All 140 instructors are working every day with us, conducting sessions in a group of only 3 or 4 students. I think the students who are already learning with us, they are experiencing it. And and definitely if you need learning material, we already have it. So just anything what you need related to IT or upskilling yourself, we have it with us. So this is just I wanted to tell to the people who are joining us very first time. I quickly want to take you through the people who have already secured the job. You can see on my screen the we collect timely feedback from the student. You can see some of the screenshots what we have captured through WhatsApp, and the way people always collaborate with us. Over to you, Diksha. Let's invite, this is a time to invite the guest and let him share his experience with all of us. And let's see if people really gets motivated.
Yes, so we're absolutely thrilled to have our guest Ali to join us today in today's webinar. He achieved his path in the field of cloud engineering and front-end engineering. So your expertise, insights, and experience would bring an incredible dynamic to our session. And we truly appreciate your willingness to share your knowledge and perspectives with us. So please, everyone, welcome Mr. Ali. So over to you, Ali.
Ali, I have
Hi
unmuted you.
guys. Hi Naman.
Hi. Thank you so much, Ali, for joining. I know that you are already somewhere in an
No,
emergency.
no worries. I was disconnected for a few seconds, but sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. You can just take 5 minutes, talk about your journey, and I promise I'll not kill you more time. I'm so sorry about it. But thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, sure, no worries. That's my pleasure. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me actually today here, and for you, Naman, and for the team. And thanks for everyone who joined the webinar today. Um, I don't know like exactly because I was disconnected. If you had a question, Naman, for me, or do you want me just to?
Yeah,
Uh,
okay. So basically, Ali, I know that you also come from a different background, And
Yes,
I know you very personally that you really thrived a lot when you were actually getting into it. So how was the
yes.
journey and what were the important skills you worked on? I mean, if you can put some light on it, I think the students will feel a little motivated.
Yeah, sure, sure. That's good to know. Actually, yeah, I came from a different background. I had a bachelor's, but not in computer science. It was general science. So I had some probably exposure, but not really IT background when I switched a few years ago. Um, Naman was one thing that helped me a lot. I like not just in his courses, but he was a consult for me. He helped me in like getting my hands on actual experience in IT, or like help me like just exploring how like the actual days or the actual work days in IT. That's something I missed like when I was not working in IT or something at the beginning. In addition to his courses, he was actually great help. Um uh, he like whether in clouds or cybersecurity, which I'm planning to take next with him. But my main course I took with him was the cloud engineering, which was a great help. The main thing actually I got help, which is different than Udemy or other courses, is that you are taking it with a live person. So if you have a question, you can ask live. If you need any consultation, they are always happy to help. So that's a great thing. And I encourage you guys. I know like the market now is not the best to switch to IT with like the recession and everything. Like, but still, I think there is always an opportunity. The time when I switched to IT, it was the same actually. It was very hard, and it was everyone is saying like it's hard to get a job, but then I was able to get a job, not easily. It takes time. It took me about a year. It took me like a few or a lot of interviews to get a job, but at the end I was able to get something. And you guys the same. If you get the right, I would say mentor, someone that who mentors you, or someone that who can help you or guide you within their courses or within anything else. I think you guys can make it, and you can get into IT even if you don't have the background.
Thank you so much, Ali. I really appreciate that sharing. I know that it was a hard journey because it took you some time that, but the
Yeah, it
best
took
part
me
of it,
about a
yeah.
year or something, or like more than a year, honestly.
Okay.
Like even getting prepared, or even like while applying to jobs, all that takes some time, but at the end, um, at least you can get something.
No,
My
thank you so
point
much.
is like you guys have to be patient.
Absolutely. That's a key. I mean, you guys have to be patient. I mean, that's a key, Ali. You are absolutely right
Yes,
because a lot of people they feel they feel that okay, after 3 months of program, if they don't get a job in 4 months, then they started feeling that oh, this is not a space for me. But I think the way you kept your patience alive till the last, till you saw the
yes.
result, I think that was the
And
key.
you have to always keep exploring. You have to know that you are still coming from non-IT background, so you have to keep exploring, like in the courses, outside the courses. But it will take some time, probably a year, probably 6 months, probably less. Everyone has different experience, but at the end, you have to be patient, and you will get your goal.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ali. I'll not kill you more time. I know that you are already somewhere, but thank you so much for joining this session. Thank you for, inspiring or inspire our students who have joined from different location. I think they are in the same journey where you were actually at one time, and they just
Sure.
wanted to listen and find out whether people actually succeed or not. So thank you so much, Ali, for joining. Can we congratulate Ali for achieving this, which is actually something which is a dream for many of us, and Ali has already achieved it. So congratulations, Ali. Thank you so much for taking out some time and joining. And I wish you all the best. Do not think that your journey is over with Think Loudly. If you have secured a job, you still always come back to us to learn something new. Or if you need job support, we are over here. So let us know if you need anything. We will always be here. Thank you so much, Ali. I
Sure.
really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank
And
you,
there are a
guys.
lot
Bye.
of people who are saying congratulations to you on, in the chat. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ali.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations. Great. Okay. So, are we good, Diksha? Can we start with the session now?
Sure.
Okay, great. So, guys, we are here today for a reason. We wanted to meet and make sure that our audience who are joining from different part of the world and they aspire to be in IT, they need to choose a role. You know, a lot of people, they always ask me that, Naman, if I am trying to get into an IT position, right, what should I choose? You know, and a lot of people, I think, are still confused about it, that, they want to get into IT, but they are still confused. So we wanted to pick a topic which is going to be helpful so that you can decide if IT auditing is actually very important for you or not, or it is something which you can consider. So how many of you think that IT auditing is really a good career option? So in the chat, can anyone tell me, like, if it is a good career option? What do you think, guys? Do you think that IT auditing is the very good career option? Okay. Okay. A lot of people are responding with yes, you guys are right. So basically, IT auditing is certainly a future. Someone is saying in the chat that it is a future. And I completely agree with you that IT auditing is the future. It is the present and it is the future. So nowadays, there are so many IT organizations, so many IT organizations you see, like Google, Apple, Facebook, right? Different organizations you see everywhere. But you know what? All these organizations are keeping customers' important data, right? They are having a lot of they do a lot of transactions, they keep data, right? And they have a lot of servers, a lot of machines available. So now when all these organizations, let's say this is organization one, this is organization two, right? So when we have so many different organizations and so many organizations are keeping data, there are possibilities that these organizations might be selling the data to someone else, right? Have you heard this news somewhere that that organization has tried to sell the data of the customer? Is anyone, I mean, did anyone hear this news anytime in the past that organization is trying to sell the data? Have you heard about Uber or some other organization? So when that happens, right, all these customer data can be very helpful for other organization. Let's say, uh, you know, if their Uber is an organization and it has a customer data, the people who travels, every day, there is a customer data what Uber has, and that customer data, Uber is having that data because a lot of people are using Uber app today. But this particular data can also be very helpful to someone else, maybe to Facebook to show some relevant ads, right? Maybe to some other advertisers, right? Maybe, yes, to Bolt or to someone else, right? This data can be very useful. So what Uber can do, Uber can sell this personal data to other organizations. Now, at this point of time, the personal information of an of the user is being sold to someone else, which is not correct at all. So how many of you over here in this room today think that selling the data of or selling the personal data is not right? How many of you think that is not right? Can anyone tell me? How many of you thinks that's not right? So yes. So that is not right at all, right? If organization is trying to sell the data to other organizations, right? That's incorrect. That's not right. This is one case. Second case, let's say that there is an employee, okay? There is an employee. This employee is leaving the organization, okay? This employee is leaving the organization. So you guys might have worked in the past for an organization. So whenever you leave the organization, you have to submit the laptop. Your account gets deleted, right? Your information from all the important let's say that there is a laptop, right? You have to submit the laptop, and there is a information in a lot of places that needs to be deleted, right? Let's say if you have access to the office still after you will have left the organization, but you still have the access, that's wrong. So all these things, right, needs to be audited properly. Okay, let's say that if the organization is not misusing the data, or if the employee who's leaving the organization, whether the employee is being offboarded properly or not, right? All this information needs to be audited timely. If organizations are not auditing it, it can really create a very big problem. Okay, it can really create, let's say there is an ex-employee, there's a former employee, okay, who still have the access to the email. Okay, there's a former employee who still have the access to the email of this organization. He has the complete access, which means he can misuse it. He can do something wrong with it. Now, this is the big loss for an organization, isn't it, guys? So uh, imagine there is a guy, his name is John. He's working for this organization A. This is the organization, and John is working for organization A. But if organization, oh sorry, if John leaves this organization, right? But after 2 years, he finds out that he still have access to organization's building, and even he has access to the email of the old organization or the previous organization. Can he misuse it or not? How many of you in the chat think, or how many of you in the audience think that this is not right? Can you guys please tell me? Right? This is not right. If John is still able to access the email, John is still able to enter into the building, right? That's not right. Now imagine this is a story only for one employee. Imagine there are 1 million people who are working in the same organization. Do you really think it's easy to, it is easy to check whether all the people are, offboarded properly or not, whether the accounts are deleted or not? This is the work for IT auditors. I mean, I'm just giving one example, guys, but there are multiple such examples available uh, where IT auditors actually work. So I'm just giving you one example that why IT auditors are required. So now if I read this right, IT audits assesses an organization's security measures to ensure data protection and integrity. So I think now this line makes more sense to people who have joined us, that IT audits, regular IT audits are performed to ensure that, to ensure that data is protected and there is an integrity which is in place, right? So that is why nowadays, because these things have been increasing, you might have heard about these news a lot if you follow, a lot of cybersecurity threats, or if you follow a lot of news or digital world news, you will come to know about these, that organizations who do not have IT auditors, right? Or if the IT audits are not performed regularly on time, they actually fall into big trouble. So IT auditors actually helps organization to prevent any future problems. Okay. So IT auditors are responsible to prevent future threats. IT auditors are responsible to audit the firm regularly to find if the data is not being sold to someone else, or maybe the employee is not accessing it who doesn't have, or who shouldn't be having the access to it. Okay. So now it reviews various aspects. not just data, but also network security. There are several aspects where IT auditor actually looks at. Access control. So access control is the same thing what we discussed, that the employee who's still having access or not, right? Disaster recovery plans. A lot of people know this, that when COVID happened, it was, I mean, organizations were not prepared. There were so many organizations which were not at all prepared for COVID-19. And when it happened, a lot of organizations suffered millions of losses, millions of losses. But the organization who were actually assessing the risk, right? Who were regularly assessing the risk, right? They were they were safe. They did not lose their millions of dollars because they kept on creating the plan, disaster recovery plan, that if something goes wrong in future, they are ready, right? So IT auditors are also involved in in assessing the risk, okay, in assessing the vulnerabilities, okay. So there are much more work what IT auditors can do. Apart from that, now, like if you see this, that it offers recommendation to address any vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and compliance issues. I think this makes really good sense to every one of you here, that it's not just about vulnerabilities, but organizations may have some weaknesses, right? They need to find out what are the weaknesses so that they can get it rectified by the concerned teams. Compliance issues. Now, if you are in Europe, I don't know how many of you know this, that if you are in Europe, Europe follows GDPR, right? So for organizations have to comply with GDPR policies. So if they are not complying with it, European governments can actually, penalized organization. And again, organization can lose a lot of dollars. So it's a IT auditor work that they make sure that it actually finds out all the compliance issues on time. They actually find out whether the organization is weak or having some weaknesses or not. And there are some threats or vulnerabilities which needs to be addressed by the concerned team. So I'm hoping, guys, that you are enjoying this session right now here. So people who are in audience, can you guys please let me know if you understand the real work of IT auditors? Can anyone please let me know in the audience? Guys, are you able to understand? Are you really enjoying the session till here? Only two people? What about others? What about Abhiodhan? What about Anu, Arlet, Ayodeji Ojo? What about you guys? Great. Kenneth is there. Oma is there. Yeah, guys, I think all of you actually know me, right? You guys actually know. We talk sometimes. So, guys, please let me know if you guys are not enjoying it. Definitely will. I can just go back if something doesn't make sense. But the whole idea is that if you're here, still you are doing your project management course or you are doing your, a Scrum Master course. It doesn't matter. It's very important that you understand the work of IT auditor, right? That's quite important. Okay. Now, now let's discuss the day-to-day activities. Let's discuss the day-to-day activities of an IT auditor. Certainly that there are various other, responsibilities what an IT auditor performs. Okay. There are various, activities. However, I have listed down three important activities so that we guys can discuss about it. We guys can understand that what are those. So basically, on an associate level, this is the role. I mean, an IT auditor, you can play a role of manager. You can play a role of subject matter expert. You can play a role of associate. I am talking about a role of associate because what I understand that the audience who is joining today here, they are learners. They are aspirants of getting the job in IT auditing. So this will make more sense to all of you, and that is why I wanted to discuss the roles and responsibilities of those people who are here. or people who are aspiring to who are here and aspiring to get into IT auditing. So first of all, there are some assigned controls, okay, like access control, change control. So as we discussed, that they need to check, they need to regularly check what is actually going on. I mean, if there are employees, as I gave you an example, whether those employees are offboarded on time or not. Okay, so there are various controls you will be working on. You will be able to understand controls more in depth when you basically go through the program. You will basically be able to understand control, but the main idea of control is like access control, change control. Apart from that, you will be also performing a lot of assessments. Assessments are very important. You need to assess, you need to keep assessing whether, let's say that your organizations your organization has set some set some attributes, or you can say set some parameters. Okay, whether your organization or your team is meeting those attributes or not. Okay, let's say they have there is a you are performing a risk assessment, as I said, that if the COVID-19 has occurred immediately, if your organization is ready, so it means if something, you are ready, you have performed risk assessment already. Let's say that this is an area, and in this area there are many servers. Now this area is belong to your organization, and there are 1 million servers. 1 million servers can cost billions of dollars to an organization. But maybe next morning, this complete server was actually flooded. Okay, the complete area was flooded. Now there is a loss of servers, that is number one, and there is a loss of data because these servers were holding a lot of data, customer data. Now what happened to it? Everything is gone because this area was flooded. So if you would have done this risk assessment properly, right, you would have thought about the action plan, whether if if something happens tomorrow because of flood, because of earthquake, because of any risks, right, the data is secure. So assessment helps to plan that organization can be ready. They can create the backup. They can do something to be ready, right? Then vulnerability. Now, many of you know this, that organizations, like whenever organization is building an application, right? Let's say Facebook. Okay, let's consider an example of Facebook. There is a vulnerability that maybe this application has a problem. Okay, has a problem that any hacker can get into it and can steal the data, right? There's a problem, or there's a hole in their system, and because of that, hacker can steal the data. So vulnerability assessment is performed to check whether everything is okay or not, whether there is any alert which can be raised so that it can be it can be fixed by the concerned team. Then verifying the reports. There are certain teams in an organization. Now, IT auditor is not someone who will be doing everything, right? You, it may happen that they will do small work, they will have their own task, but sometimes there is a penetration testing team, they are performing penetration testing, so they will give the report, and this report will be verified by IT auditor. There is a vulnerability assessment team which is doing vulnerability assessment every week, so IT auditor will assess the report of it. Then the last one thing which I think which is very important, that it's not only that IT auditor is checking the report, but it is also important that IT auditor, when the report comes out, IT auditor checks whether those vulnerabilities are addressed or not. Okay, so IT auditors perform that task as well. So I am hoping that people in the audience, they are able to understand what I'm trying to say, that it's not about verifying the report, it's more than that. It's whether the vulnerabilities are being addressed or not. That's also one important task what on a daily basis IT auditor performs. So are we good till here? So people who have joined, are we good till here, everyone? Does that make sense to everyone? Great. Okay. Now I would like to, understand that why why the role of IT auditor is important. I think by now a lot of people have actually understood this, right? Whosoever is in audience right now, I think you guys are able to understand that IT auditor is an important role. So how many of you still think that IT auditor is an important role? What do you think, guys? Is it an important role? Do you think that organization should have IT auditors? What do you think, guys? Yes? Now, let's understand one by one that why. Okay, I think we have already spoken about it, but I'm going to touch base again so that you guys are clear about it. See, having IT auditors is important for an organization to basically keep that reputation in the market. Now, imagine that, you're trying to make the payment on PayPal. You're making the payment on PayPal because you trust PayPal, right? You will not use any platform to make payment, right? People who are in United States, you guys use Zelle, right? People who are in Canada, you guys use e-transfer, right? You guys are using these methods, and I think people who are in Africa, you guys are using Momo, right? I'm very well aware of these payment gateways. So basically what happens that when you guys are using these platforms, you guys are using these platforms because these platforms have gained that reputation already in the market, and that is why you are trusting them. But one day you come to know that when someone was trying to make the payment on PayPal, and PayPal credited the payment and it was never refunded. It actually, I mean, PayPal application was hacked by the hacker. Now, what will happen? Because of that incident, there are users which will be impacted, and there are chances that you will lose the trust on PayPal. So, what PayPal does, PayPal has a big team of IT auditors. They keep checking whether everything is fine or not. What are the vulnerabilities? What are the problems? What are the expected problems? Right? They are actually one step ahead of all the vulnerabilities. And that is why it's been 20 years or maybe more than 20 years that PayPal exists in the market. Why? Because PayPal is investing heavily on their auditing team, right? So IT auditor role is important for the organization to maintain clients' trust. Okay. It's very important. Now, second, organizations has to follow legal regularities. Now, guys, this is very important. We need to understand that this really, I mean, you might have heard that Zelle does not work in Canada, right? Or Zelle does not work in Africa. It's because maybe Zelle is not following the legal regularities of that government or of that country. That is why, Zelle is still in US, but they may have a plan to go into Canada. So every organizations, they have to follow country specific legal regularities. That is why the same organization cannot exist in all the countries. You might have seen that very big brands take their time to get into an into one country. It is because they have to comply with the legal regularities. And IT auditors are very helpful at that time because they study the legal regularities of that country, and they make sure that it matches with the organization's way of working. Now, as I told you that to find the threats and to find the threats and vulnerabilities. So this is what we have been discussing so far. And yes, IT auditors perform internal and external auditings for many of the organization, for that organization where they're working, and for the organizations if they're if they're performing the auditing for other organizations, that also can happen. So that's why IT auditor role is quite an important role. Now, this is very important, guys. I think many of you wants to know that whenever we complete the course, maybe you are attending the course on Udemy or maybe on other platform or maybe with Thinkcloudly. Now this is now the time will come when you have to apply for a job. So there are various job roles where you can apply for a job. You can apply for an internal IT auditor, trust and risk analyst, risk analyst, you know, GRC consultant, GRC analyst, risk analyst. Many of you always have this doubt that how GRC is actually different than IT auditor, right? Guys, we need to understand this part very well, that IT auditors, IT auditors and GRC people can work together. They can work together. So GRC people actually take care of compliances, that whether I gave you an example of GDPR, that whether the organizations are following the GDPR or not in European countries, right? So GRC analyst will check whether that is being followed or not by an organization. But IT auditor may be performing a lot of auditing, as I said, like they will be verifying the reports, they'll be checking the assessments, they will be doing the assessments, they will be having the controls, right? So IT auditors stick to a part where they perform a lot of assessments and auditing, where GRC also does the same thing, but they are more specific to compliance, where they make sure that the compliance of that organization is being followed. Okay. So, but these two roles can work hand in hand. So if you are learning for IT auditing, you are fully eligible. Okay. You guys are fully eligible to work as IT auditor, or IT auditor people can work as GRC analyst. Okay. So people whosoever has this doubt, please do not keep that doubt at all. You're open to work anywhere. The roles which are listed over here, you can go and openly work and openly apply for the positions available online. Now, okay, let me ask you a question, which is a very interesting question. So guys, what do you think? How much how much an IT auditor earns in United States? Can anyone tell me, please? What is the starting salary for someone who is in United States? Can anyone tell me? Any guesses, guys? I think this is the most interesting part of the conversation when it comes to salary, isn't it? So how much an IT auditor actually makes in United States? Okay. I don't know about others, guys. I don't know the numbers, what is written on Google. I don't care about it. But I tell you one thing, that students who recently have secured the job through Thinkcloudly, they are making close to 90K. That's the starting salary. And it can go up to 135K. Now, people always tell me that, how is that possible? See, I don't know how is that possible. But yes, IT auditor is paying really well. It's just like, it depends on you. If you're able to capture everything, if you're able to understand everything, if you are able to perform well in your interview, I'm sure that you can touch 135K very easily. It just depends that whether you are able to win the confidence of the interviewer, win the confidence of the recruiter. If you're able to do it, then IT auditor becomes the best role. And the best part about IT auditor is that you get a lot of time. I mean, it's a very flexible role, you know, it's a very flexible role. So also, once you step into IT auditor role, then again, if you look at after 2 years or 3 years, you will find a lot of opportunities. So always, always look at whatever knowledge you have gained, go in the market and apply jobs, perform well in the interview. Do not get disappointed at any point of time that you were not able to perform. Make sure that you are able to perform well in your interview. You are preparing enough. Reach out to Think Loudly if you need any help before you actually go for the interview, and let us know what help you need. So I'm good, guys. Okay, last thing which I wanted to cover. I'm sorry I missed it. There was a scandal, PwC threat scandal. What happened? And it was a very famous scandal. What happened in past few years? It's been years now, and now like what happened in this. PwC is a that PwC is one of the big four organization, right? And it was a case of auditor that data which was used against competitors, it was also being shared with competitors and also used against competitors. PwC tried to use that data for the client's data. Loss of reputation, lot of clients were impacted. I mean, that was a scenario, and it was a learning for other organization that PwC actually lost its reputation. Being a part of big four, like that there are only big four or four big consultancies in accounting, and PwC is one of them. So it was a loss of reputation. When we say loss of reputation, that it's not always reputation, but it is always the revenue which gets affected, your customers which gets affected when we say loss of reputation. And also the clients who were connected with PwC for over 20 years, it was a breach of trust. It was really a bad situation for PwC when it happened. You can go online and can read about it, but it was really, really a worse thing for PwC. So you can imagine an organization which is part of Big Four has suffered a problem because of not proper auditing, and not following a proper method, right? So you can imagine that how IT auditors are going to be important for the industry. And you can imagine that for next 10 years, when we are in a very unsafe world where our data is not protected, our devices are not protected. So you can imagine that IT auditors requirements is going to increase year by year, month by month, and you will see that number of opportunities are going to open. And one last thing which I want to address for everyone who is here. So guys, a lot of people ask me that is IT auditing enough, to work? Remember guys that if you have knowledge on cloud, IT auditing can really help. If you have a knowledge on cybersecurity, IT auditing can help. When you work as an IT auditor, you need to have some idea about cloud. You need to have some generic idea about cybersecurity. So combining IT auditing with cybersecurity can be one good option. Combining IT auditing with cloud can be another good option, because when you mention that in your resume, it can really help. So guys, people who have completed their IT auditing, or people who are planning to do something else, right, after IT auditing, plan either cybersecurity or cloud, because that's going to be added advantage. So, so thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this session. So can you guys please let me know if you liked the session? Whatever I could prepare in a short period of time. Did you like the session? Will you be joining this session again whenever we host it? How was the session, everyone?
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.